Hello, my name is Lynette Clement, and I am reading from the Love Exquisite Magazine, which you can access for free on loveexquisite.com. I am reading in the Learning by Design section. There's an article titled Leaders Lead, Bosses Boss. Which one are you? So here we go. Again, if I stumble over my words, I will go back for clarity and read it again. There is a difference between someone who leads and someone who is a boss. Bosses do not always make great leaders. Just because you might own the business or have more knowledge of a subject area does not mean that you are the best leader in that business or or can lead that project or task effectively. Those who lead usually lead well. However, not everyone in a leadership role leads well. So I'll say that again. Not everyone in a leadership role leads well, especially if he or she has a boss mentality. People who are bosses usually boss people around. Which type of leader are you? And which type would you rather work for? Would you rather work for a leader who is a dictator or a leader who is diplomatic? It makes a difference. I always say people don't leave jobs, they leave bosses. So if you're a very intelligent person, but you don't possess people skills and you don't possess emotional intelligence and how to work with people, how to collaborate with people in an effective way, then more likely than not, those people around you won't stay there for long. So again, people who usually have a boss mentality like to boss people around. Bosses are usually bossy, and leaders are usually inclusive and diplomatic when reaching decisions. A true leader also knows when to follow. However, bosses tend to exert his or her authority and desires to be in control, to be right all the time, so much that they usually are combative when you disagree with them or when they have to actually follow you and you take on the lead. It is better to be a leader than a boss that is bossy. Bosses should learn effective leadership skills. So, if you own a business or if you're in a leadership role, it's important to learn about what effective leadership is because no matter how much you might know about the business, you have to also know about people and what motivates them, what inspires them, what upsets them, and how to best get along with people because the people are also your customers. They're not just your employees, they're also your customers. Effective leadership skills do not just include having knowledge or expertise in a particular subject matter. It also includes effective, open, and transparent communication skills, and that involves listening. Strategic data driven decision making, inclusivity when soliciting feedback from employees, time management skills, good organizational leadership skills, emotional intelligence, conflict resolution strategies, and creative problem solving. Leaders who possess those characteristic traits are leaders that people tend to want to follow. In contrast, bosses usually possess the ability to micromanage. They think that their way is the only way of doing things or the best way. So they're micromanaging you to make sure that the work is getting done the way that they would like it to get done. They are also the biggest delegators. So they want to sit back and micromanage, but they want to delegate all of the work to you, meaning they want to give you all of the work, but they want to control how you do the work. They also treat people as inferior or subordinate employees. They hoard information at times, or he or she has a my way is the best and only way, or do as I say type of attitude. And they don't value feedback from others when working on collaborative projects. So, bosses can really benefit from learning how to be an effective leader. that people actually want to follow. It is better to be a leader who leads effectively than to be a boss who bosses people around as a way to demonstrate leadership. The bossy style of leadership is actually poor leadership that will ultimately eventually result in high employee turnover. So you will have a difficult time retaining quality employees when you are a bossy type leader. And if the people who work with you stay with the company for a long period of time, it could be because you are an effective leader. It could also mean that they just need the money, and they haven't found another job as of yet. But if people who work with you have a pattern of leaving the company, or that position within your department is a revolving door, meaning you always have to rehire and rehire and retrain because people are leaving the company, it is because you probably do not have the right leadership skills to retain quality employees. So leaders know how to talk to their employees, but bosses usually talk at their employees. There is a difference. So below in the magazine, I give you ways of developing good leadership skills to retain quality employees. And those are taking continuing education courses that can teach you about effective leadership skills. Through leadership development courses, you can also learn about developing critical thinking skills. Learn how to motivate others. You got to get to know your employees to figure out what inspires and motivates them to dive in and be more engaged in the workplace. Develop emotional intelligence. This is the people skills that I was talking about. Listen and communicate effectively. Learn how to accept constructive feedback. Learn how to handle conflict situations. Practice discipline and self diplomacy. Learn how to follow when necessary, and learn how to work as a part of a team environment. Also, one important aspect that you have to learn to build effective leadership is analyze your own strengths and weaknesses, in addition to learning how to make data driven decisions to strategically problem solve effectively. So every idea isn't always a good idea that you might want to enforce. So you have to have data, make data driven decisions, collect the data so that you can make the best decision for the company as well as your employees. If you're not sure what type of leader you are, just ask the people who work with you about your leadership style. How would they categorize it? Again, people don't leave jobs, they leave bosses. So no one wants to work with someone who's bossy. So it's best to be a true leader who can lead effectively. So you can find courses on organizational leadership online at universities like Udemy, edX. Well, they're not universities, but they have a platform online where you can go to find out information on building effective leadership skills. So it's Udemy, edX, Coursera. Cornell is a university, and Harvard also has good organizational leadership programs. So be a great leader, because those are the type of leaders that people want to work for and with. This is in the Learning by Design section of the October 2021 issue of the Love Exquisite Magazine, available for free at loveexquisite.com. Be a leader, but don't be bossy.